want you to imagine that you're having a picnic at the park. You have an assortment of fruits and vegetables when all of a sudden you hear something fly across your ear. You swat it down and it falls to the ground. Congratulations, you just killed one of our main pollinators and our most endangered one. Bees are a major asset to humans and they are in danger. We all know that bees are pollinators, but what exactly do they pollinate? According to the author of the article Save the Bees, 70 out of the top 100 human food crops, which supply about 90% of the world's nutrition, are pollinated by bees. Foods such as nuts, fruits, and vegetables are depending on bees for pollination. Along with certain food groups, they also pollinate a large majority of Earth's wildflowers. You might be wondering why the loss of bees would be so detrimental to us if we have other pollinators. The author of Why Do We Need Bees explains two reasons for this. One is that bees collect pollen to feed the hive, so naturally they visit more plants than other pollinators. Reason number two is that certain types of bees are structured to pollinate certain crops. There are also types of solitary bees that specialize to pollinate one specific plant. So without them, it would result in the extinction of that plant. Now let's get into the reasons for the bees' decline. The author of Save the Bees states that U.S. National Agricultural Statistics show a honeybee decline from about 6 million hives in 1947 to 2.4 million hives in 2008, a 60% reduction. Since 2008, that number has still been decreasing. There are multiple reasons for this. A major one is pesticides. Kimberly Alt, the author of Buzz Off, Why Are Bees Dying?, says a pesticide called neonicotinoids is negatively affecting the bees and causing nervous system malfunctions and infections. Another factor is poor nutrition. Since bees survive off pollen, they need flowers to gather that pollen from. However, more and more buildings and lawns are replacing their food sources. This issue also affects their habitats. Along with those threats, there is also the Varroa destructor mite. Rick Besson, the author of Varroa mites infesting honeybee colonies, explains that they are parasites that suck blood out of the honeybees. This weakens the bees and shortens their lives. Although the outlook is grim, there are still things we can do to help save the bees. A simple routine that everyone can do is put a mixture of sugar and water in your yard to replenish the tired bees. Says Alt. It won't solve the crisis, but it is a step in the right direction. A bigger solution is banning pesticides that are harming the bees. However, this is difficult because chemical companies have a lot of money to spend on their products, so taking them to court would be a challenge. Another solution is to preserve bees' habitats and sources of food. It would take a lot of support from the masses to provoke the government to make preservation efforts. Therefore, more awareness needs to be spread about this issue. Many people are still unaware of the bee crisis. That is why I'm discussing it. They might have heard about it, but not fully understand the risk of losing our number one pollinator. Without bees, we would lose a large percent of crops that are essential to our day-to-day diets. These insects are dying from both human and environmental factors. We need to start taking the threat seriously before it is too late.